In this video, I want to show you the modulation system within Bitwig a bit more. Now, we have touched on this by looking at these modulators and what they can do, but that was just touching on the surface. Now, let me show you really how far you can take it with the modulators. Now, the best way to think of Bitwig is as a DAW, which has live performance tools like the clip launcher, plus an advanced modulation routing system. So you can even think of it as a modular synth, how you're patching things to other things and modulating them, and in turn having a very complex modulation routing system. So let's take a look. I've got this drum part over here and the synth, and it's using the polysynth. So let's solo the synth and start working with it. By itself, this is what it sounds like. And I want to add some modulation to really enhance the sound. So all it has at the moment is this polysynth, and it's going into a delay. So for the modulator, let's click here to choose a type of modulator we're going to use. I like using the LFO. It is just a very basic modulation where it takes a low sound wave and modulates a parameter by it, and then you can go in and tweak the speed of that LFO. So you got this little flashing button over here, and when you click this, you can choose what you want to modulate. Now I want to modulate the sync parameter over here. So if I just play back the synth, I want to modulate that. So I'm going to tick this, and any parameter that is blue, I can modulate. And where this is sitting, that's its starting value, and I can increase this up to show you how much I want to modulate it, or I can go in the reverse direction. Now let's modulate it up a bit, and if I play back now, I can just untick this and play it back. Very nice. Now let me show you an extra thing here that I haven't shown you. You can modulate more than one parameter with one LFO or one modulator. So if I tick this again, I can go to this noise parameter and also increase this. So what this is going to do is it's going to modulate this sync waveform parameter and the noise. And this is determined by how much I increase the value. So I'm going to tick off and play back. I can change the amounts, and it'll change how much is being modulated. So I'm using different amounts, but using the same modulator, but just using one modulator to modulate multiple parameters. And I can even take this a step further. I can take this modulator, but I can't modulate anything that's not housed within this device. So what happens if I want to modulate this delay? Well, then what I can do is I can take the delay and drop it in this effects section here. So now it's housed within this device, and I can modulate some parameters over here. So how about we modulate the dry wet mix? And that's just using one modulator to modulate 3 different types of parameters. I could go in and add a second modulator. So this time, let's maybe use the beat LFO. So this is more of a rhythmic shaped LFO. I can go in and change the parameters. So maybe I want the shape to be more to this side, where it rises faster and drops slower. And I can change the beats of it over here, but let's first assign it to some things. So I'm going to click this, and how about I modulate the left delay, but I'm going to pull this down, but then also modulate the right delay by pulling this up. So I've got 2 different types of delays, and maybe try something else. So go to the drive and increase this up, and I'm going to have a fast rate. So as I increase this up, you can see how fast it's actually changing things. And I can change things while I've got it in motion. Change the shape. So there you go. Hopefully that gives you an idea of the power of modulators. I'm just using it with one synth device and one effect device. That's housed within the effects of the device. But if you can imagine, if you had a chain of effects and you pulled that chain into this device, plus you modulated some of these parameters with 3 different modulators, you can get some crazy results. You can take a very simple sounding instrument and take it very far by creating this motion and movement with the modulation and the effects and your parameters. So I hope that gives you an idea on how powerful this modular system is. It really is a key feature within the application that's very different from other applications. So now that you understand modulation, next let's take a look at automation.